Hi, this is David with the RV Bushcrafters channel. In my last video, I did a challenge in honor of the Semiquincentennial about building fire. In my case, the challenge for me was a bow drill, but getting just the stuff I needed off of my lot, which is less than 1 acre. And I started out with oak, and that wasn't successful. And then I went on, and I have a cedar tree, so I was able to get a successful coal and fire with the cedar. But you know, I've done it with cedar before with both the hand drill and a bow drill. So I need to use a different kind of wood, and I promised I would do one using a birch tree. And I have a birch tree on my lot, so I've now crafted a fire drill set from a bow drill set from that birch. So, you know, my challenge to you was to just take whatever you're doing, take it one level further. If you've done a bow drill in your garage and in good conditions, then take it out into the real world. In my case, it was low to mid 90s, humidity in the 80 percentiles, and it was just makes it a lot harder. Mosquitoes biting, all that kind of thing. But anyway, switching back to the birch tree, I have made this bow drill kit, and you know, the more you do, the more you learn. I have started literally dozens, if not hundreds, of fires with a bow drill, and I just learned something today, and I'm going to share that with you before I even actually get to the drilling process. So let me switch the camera around, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. When I did the oak, we talked about the situation, what type of powder you're looking for. And you're looking for a powder that is not granular. You're looking for literally a powder. Sometimes it can be a little bit fluffy, but when you've got a lot of granules in your powder, then the chances of you being successful with a bow drill or any drill are fairly low. And so what I learned today is when I carved this kit that I'm using that's from birch, I just examined the powder real closely when I burned the hole in initially. And in this case, my powder is very fine, like it should be. So that is an excellent indicator that I'm going to be able to get a fire out of this kit. So I think from now on, when I decide I'm going to use a particular kind of wood, I am going to get it to the point where I can get my hole where it burns in, and burning it in by definition gives you some powder. I'm going to examine that powder, and if I don't have good results, I am not going to waste my energy on pressing hard trying to turn granular powder into powdery power, because it's just not worth the energy level. So anyway, I just wanted to show you, you can't see that this is how powdery this is. I don't think, I can't focus it, but compared to the granules that were coming out of the oak from my previous video, then it's a very good powder, and I think we're going to have success with it. And you know, I think I said earlier that oak, just by its own nature, will produce granules, but when you add high humidity to it, it's even harder to deal with. So let's see if my hypothesis can be turned into a theory by getting this coal from this birch bark set. So let's get started. Okay, I've prepared the fireboard. Got the notch carved in it. Not quite as sharp at the center as I wanted it to be, but it's plenty adequate. So when you carve your notch, you want it to be kind of like a sharp point there, and you want to go right up to or just before the center of your hole, but not beyond. And the reason for that is that when your spindle fits down in there, the point that the spindle is touching the very bottom center, That is the point of the highest temperature, and that is going to get you ignition of the powder, and then let that fall down into the powder that's already been drilled that did not ignite, and start your cola forming. I hope that's easy to see, but right there in the, you can see where the notch goes right up, but not quite to the center of the fire hole. So let's see, this is trial number 1. Hopefully it's the only trial that we'll need. And let's see if we can get a coal out of this birchwood. All right, here we go. Get the set warmed up. Nice easy turns. Getting a little powder coming out, and our speed starts to increase. This birch is a softer wood, so pressure, high pressure, is not something that you want. Probably a medium amount of pressure, light pressure to beginning, advancing to medium, and maybe at the very end, depending on how it feels, you decide to add more pressure. Right now I'm getting the speed up. We've got some smoke, or a whiff of smoke there. More smoke, getting good powder. Taking as long as strokes as I can. Fast as I can move it up reasonably without wearing myself out. Oh. Improper form there. Pushed me out of my hole. I did not have the set completely vertical. Kind of drilled it a bit at an angle, and it popped out the end. Now, what does our powder look like? I've got granules, but those granules are also mixed with fine powder, and it appears that mostly fine powder with some granules at the start. All right, unfortunately, I messed that one up, and I'll have to create another hole and repeat. So we'll see in a bit. Okay, we have another hole created, another notch cut. If anybody from the camera angle saw that coming, the last one where I drilled it out too much at an angle, put it down in the comments and let me know, because from my angle, I really couldn't tell until it was too late. So I think I've got everything level at this point, and just I'd be tilted back a little bit. May have to drill a little bit toward the back, but let's do take 2. Other thing is, I think this wood is very soft, and I think I also started out with a little bit too much pressure. So I'm gonna even use less pressure this time and ramp it up more slowly. All right, I'm seeing whiffs of smoke, definitely have powder. And we just focus on making this happen. definitely have our coal. Very nice coal too. Even more solid than the cedar. And I am going to use pump wood here as a coal extender. Let's get it down. Uh-oh. Into our tinder bundle here. And a few more little cedar strands to get it going. All right. I'm gonna flip this up and side down so that rest of this wood, these chip filings I'm using, are all about insulation, keeping the heat in to reach ignition temperature. Smoke keeps following me. And we have fire. So, fire from a birch tree, river birch to be specific. Drill set, both the fireboard and the spindle are birch. I use a standard heart pine bearing block because they're self-lubricating. They have the pitch in them. And that fire was fairly easy, even in humidity right now that's exceeding 80%. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, give us a subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.